everyone, this is my F150, and today I'm going to be telling you the 8 things I love about it and the 8 things I hate about it. So the current F150s are pretty impressive trucks. They come in all shapes and sizes, and you can get them in all sorts of trim levels. My truck is a 2021 F150 XLT 302A Sport Crew Cab 6.5-foot box with a 3.5 liter EcoBoost and a 10-speed transmission. It's a mouthful. On my 21st birthday, my best friend bought a 2021 F150. The first time I sat in it, I knew I had to have one. The first thing I love about this truck is the headlights. With these LED headlight surrounds and the super bright low beams, high beams, and fog lights, it was hard not to fall in love with it at first glance. Even though the first thing I love about this truck was the headlights, they're also the first thing I hate. Now, I don't really hate the headlights, but because of my leveling kit and the fact that I'm usually loaded, the front end of the truck is pitched up a bit, which means I blind oncoming traffic. I haven't found out how to adjust these yet, so I haven't. And at nighttime, I usually just run with the parking lamps on. At least they look cool. So moving back from the headlights, we get to my second favorite part of the truck, the interior. So I've always been used to Ford XLT trucks having bare bones gray interiors. But the 2021s, I couldn't believe. This is an all-black interior with the 12-inch screen, B&O sound system. It has wireless Apple CarPlay, individual climate controls, heated seats, fold-up shifter, console shifter. The driver's view in this truck was really what pushed me over the edge to buy it. 2 years in, still can't get enough of it. I have it set up exactly how I want with these leather seat covers. I got some ambient lighting installed aftermarket, my CB radio. It's just perfect. I hopped back outside of the truck for my second hate, and it is these mirrors. So I don't think they're the worst styling. They look okay. I would prefer these ones if they were color matched or gloss black. But the reason I haven't painted them yet is because these mirrors are terrible while towing trailers. And I tow trailers often. They don't flip up, they don't slide out, and they don't stick out enough to see around my RV or a dump trailer or anything else really wider than the pickup. One day, probably pretty soon here, I'm gonna get myself a set of nice tow mirrors. Now moving on to the third thing I love, the power. This truck has a 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 that makes 400 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 10-speed transmission, so it can deliver the torque at any speed under any load. Just looking at the engine inside the engine bay, you can't really see much. It's mostly just plastic. It does have this nice air scoop right there, and the turbochargers are right down on the sides. There's one on each side. So the third thing I hate about the truck is the rear suspension. This is a half-ton, so I mean, what could I really expect? But it does have the max tow package, and it can tow around 14,000 pounds. However, the rear suspension doesn't like it, especially because I constantly have my box full of stuff. whenever I throw a trailer behind this thing, especially a heavy one with lots of tongue weight, the back end just gets completely compressed. I should have already got airbags to remedy this, but I haven't yet, and hopefully I will soon. So the fourth thing I love about this truck is its off-road capability. It has independent front suspension and a solid rear axle, rear locking differential, and a true low-range transfer case. What I've done here is just drove one tire up some dirt so I can show off the articulation. It has a serious amount. I mean, yeah, that's got to be at least 16 inches. But I guess that means we can go right into the fourth thing I hate, which is the lack of underbody protection. That right there is a plastic transmission pan. I've had to replace one of these transmission pans on an F150 Super Duty because it got hit with a stick real hard, and there was a cover underneath this that got ripped off. So very soon I'm gonna have to make myself a metal one. Also up there, the bottom of the radiator doesn't really have anything covering it. And right here, plastic gas tank. So I'm gonna have to fab up some underbody protection. The fifth thing I love about this truck are all its utility features. This truck has 360 zone lighting, power tailgate. It's got a tailgate step, some people love and some people hate. Right here are spots to clamp things down with vice grips or C-clamps. I use these all the time. We have strap points right here that also work as bottle openers. There's box lighting inside the box. The list goes on and on. There's just so many features. The fifth thing I hate about this truck is the turning radius. It has electric power steering which works flawlessly, but I have never experienced a turning radius this bad before. I've gotten very used to doing 3-point turns and jackknifing trailers just to turn around, and these tires certainly don't help. This truck literally needs 51 feet to turn around. The sixth thing I love about this truck is its towing capability. Even though it's just a half-ton, it tows extremely well. I've towed a lot of heavy stuff with it and really put it through its paces, and it hasn't let me down yet. Here's a quick slideshow of things I've towed. Moving on to the sixth thing I hate about the truck, it's the fuel economy. So as you can see, I'm getting 20.3 liters per 100 kilometers. Now it wasn't always this bad, but I cut the air dams off, I put huge mud tires on it, leveled it, I'm always loaded and often towing trailers. So this is what I get. With the EcoBoost, you either get Eco or Boost, and I guess I mostly use Boost. The seventh thing I love about this truck is its size. As you can see next to my Ranger, it's quite a large vehicle. It has a really commanding feel on the road, gives it a lot of presence, and it helps in accidents too. Last year I was T-boned by an Acura sedan, and my back wheel just drove over the hood of the thing. The seventh thing I hate is the auto starts up feature. Every time I get in, I have to press this button to turn off the auto start stop. Otherwise, if I come to a stoplight or a traffic light or come to a stop and drive at all, the engine shuts off and it is so annoying. There is another way to disable it, and that is by putting it in sport mode or tow haul mode. That way, when it goes into that mode, turns off. The final thing I love on this list is the Ford Pass app. It's completely free and it can do all sorts of stuff. I can unlock, lock, start my truck. I can set off the hazards with the horn. I can turn on all my zone lighting, which is pretty cool. I can check my trailer lights. Oh yeah, I can also check my tire pressures, my oil life, book services, check my warranties and recalls. It tells me engine codes if the truck has any. It also shows where the truck is all the time. It's really just an awesome app, and unlike other manufacturers, it's completely free. The eighth and final thing I hate about this truck is this fake tailgate handle. This isn't actually a handle at all, it's just a button. And I've got this tailgate jammed shut before, and I had to ratchet strap from here into the box to apply an inwards pressure to it to get the latch to release. There are some good things about it, like the fact that I can open it from the key fob and also open it from a button inside the truck. But just the fact that it can get stuck shut is enough to make me not like it. Well, that's the 8 things I love and hate about my F-150. Let me know if I missed anything, and don't forget to like and subscribe.